Hello, my name is Marley and welcome back to my channel. I just finished filming my bookshelf organization my bookshelf organization video, so I decided to now do the bookshelf tour immediately after that. So we have that done with. So that's gonna be this video, and I don't think I have anything else to say, so let's just get started right away with a little overview. Oh, did I just stop the video? No, good. So, overview. This is just fantasy stuff. Adult and young adult. Fantasy is the only genre that I really differentiate between. Then down here we have crime and thriller, the only horror book I own, and some other books that just didn't fit in anywhere else, to be quite honest. Then we have classics. I did divide them up between fictional and non-fictional, though I guess at this point some of them are so old that they're becoming fictional again, but you know, they was intended as non-fictional. Then we have non-fiction history, and then this bookshelf contains politics, some sociology stuff, I guess, just non-fiction, you know, some STEM non-fiction. And then here we have myth history novels, so this is fiction again. Don't ask me why I divided it into fiction, non-fiction, and fiction. It just worked in my head. And yeah, we end up with these three older books. And then this isn't a shelf anymore, just because I don't have space. These are just dictionaries and cooking books, so they're quite uninteresting. And then here we have my children's books. So starting with my fantasy shelf, I try to keep the camera as steady as possible. I'm not gonna point out every single book I have because I always get annoyed myself by that. But we have the only Harry Potter thing that's still on the main shelf because it was too big to put anywhere else. And it was a gift from my friends back in school. It has helped me through quite a lot of homesickness. I won't take any longer talking about this because of the author. It's concept art of the films, yes. Then we have the German version. Oh yeah, I'm going to start pulling out all of the unread books as well. Because that's what I do. I always put up my bookshelves first and then I take out everything I haven't read, just so that I know when I do read them, they do have a place where they can go. But I will put the unread ones somewhere else. Anyway, this is the first book of Game of Thrones in the German edition, which I got from my brother because I drove him somewhere. Then these are, I like them a lot, the German edition of the Witcher series. You can actually, if I can pull one of them out, yeah, they all have one animal at the front of the book, and then when you put them together they make this little picture. They renewed these when the series came out, I think. Then we have these. I haven't read which one? The lower one, because I did read the first one. Why did I put them the wrong way around? Anyway, haven't read that one. Did read the others. Then here are some more books that I like put into the corner. This I haven't read yet. I don't even know what it's about. I know it should be like a retelling of Merlin or something. Name of the Wind. Love the book. And then this is technically, I think, young adult. Fish at Sea series by Joe Abercrombie, but they get to me a little older, so I decided to put them here. And also I have another book by Joe Abercrombie that I haven't read yet, The Blade Itself. So that is also going there. So we put that back there, this back there. This does light up, but again, it's Harry Potter, so like, you know. Then we have my 3 of the 4 romance books that I should own. One of them is with my sister. The one by Roxana Huge with Music We Dream. This is for a second book, which should be coming out at some point this year, I think. I hope I'm not saying something entirely incorrect. These are the characters of the second book. Anyway, I have this little frog on here that my brother made me. He works in a place where they make, mostly art out of metal, you know, where they pour the hot metal into forms to make art. And sometimes they also still make church bells, though they do that less and less these days because church bells are not in demand right now. Anyway, back to the shelves. Then we have more fantasy. And there's a candle. Anything of note. There is one missing here because it's with a friend. And then I haven't read. Oh, wait, I didn't read. Which one did I not read? And things that never happened. Anyway. I didn't read these two. And that's what I mean now. There's gonna be like huge gaps in my shelf. But it works for me. Then I did not read the third one of this. Should be this one. Annoyingly, the second one of a different edition. Yeah. It just, I ordered in the other one and then it came like that. And then I did not read the third book of this one. As I said, the first one is not here currently, but I did factor it in and it should fit in there once I've read all of the books and it's back. So, for context, this plant is, this Lego plant is standing there in front of that, those books. Not because I want to hide them. This I got amazing. This I got also amazing, but you know. And then this I also got was good, and that's why the plant is in front of it. Because she will probably hate that I put it in front of them because you can't see it anymore. But I got the manga and One Piece because of a friend of mine, and that friend also gifted me that Lego bamboo tree. So now it's just in front of that, and also covers up like the name on the other book. So like, yeah. Sorry for hiding One Piece, I guess. This is young adult. I really liked Crooked Kingdom and Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo. I don't think I will read any of her other books. They don't sound like something I would like, and I kind of grew out of the young adult genre for the time being. I might come back to it at some point. This is the only V Schwab I've ever read. I would like to try some other ones because this wasn't like one of the best books I've ever read, but I heard that this is also quite different from her other works. So yeah, we might come back to the author at some point. And then, I haven't read this one yet. This was a gift by friends, and I haven't read it yet. Yeah, these, I'm not someone who takes great care of their books. It's a little, bad habit of mine. This was damaged by water at some point. I think that took with me swimming, and then, that's why it looks like that. Anyway, that's that. Then down here we have, we have science fiction as well. I almost forgot about that. I did read those, all of them. These are like crimes and thrillers. There's one science fiction, there it is. Oh, I'm missing one. Where's the other one? I definitely have the second one of this series as well. Is that with a friend? No, she gave it back to me. She definitely gave it back to me. So apparently I'm missing a book. Not sure where it is. The second one actually might also like of the Murderbot series. The second one is missing. It might still be at my father's as well, because I'm pretty sure he took it with him home. Either there or with a friend. Gonna figure it out, and if I don't, then, I mean, it's not that bad. Anyway, I really love the series, want to continue it, that's why it's still here. Then we have, like, Crimes and Thriller. I don't read often, barely at all, to be honest. My only horror book, House of Leaves by Mark Z... What is it? Danielewski or something. Quite an interesting concept because it's like a little bit more experimental. I really liked it. I think I like these kind of horror books more than the ones where, I don't know. I didn't really click with Stephen King, though. That was more because of the female characters than of the story. But I like these experimental type of books a lot. Then this we haven't read yet. Did I read that? Haven't read this, haven't read this. These are more like Michel Angeles, how do you say that? I can never say that. Books that I haven't read yet. I think, did I even read a single one of these? These are, no, I read this one. I did read this one when I was smaller. It's a German book about, I don't know, a teacher tells his stories of a school where the children or teenagers don't really speak German that well. I haven't read a single one of these, I think. So these can all go. Saga is also in here. Unfortunately, it's like at the bottom, and I'm not gonna take it out now because it's annoying to take out. I wish I was able to display it a little better, but this is just what I'm working with for now. It's only like 3 or 4 or 5 more years, guys, until I get my own place. So, classics. These are just collected works of Goethe and Rilke, so they're just in there, and otherwise I try to sort them chronologically in order that they were published. We have The Art of War by Sun Tzu, we have some Shakespeare, we have Paradise Lost, which I haven't read yet. I also haven't read Hamlet. Oh yeah, technically I guess I also have to take out this one, so let's do that. Okay, so I haven't read the collected works by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe yet. In case you're wondering, that's one of the most famous German authors, poets, if not the most famous one. For example, Faust is by him. I'm not sure which one would be the most famous of his plays or poems, especially in English, but you know. Jane Austen, I technically have 2 copies of this one. I have the Penguin Random House edition as well, which I like more to read, I think. What do I have a camera for if it doesn't focus on the font? Anyway, the font in this one I hate. It does have, however, some little drawings inside. Does it focus on that? It does. Look, the drawings work. It just that I didn't want to focus on the font. Anyway, like it has a few little drawings inside. Then we have some Charles Dickens, The Count of Monte Cristo, of which I'm currently still reading the second one. I decided to not do the vlog anymore because I get it in times too far apart to be, you know, to make sense. But I am still reading it. Okay, so we got the first part of that. I'm thinking I might take out... Yeah, I'm really gonna leave it in for now. Because I would like to reread Pride and Prejudice at some point. But not now. And then we have Le Fleur du Mal, which I haven't read, by Baudelaire. Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe, I also haven't read. A Tale of Two Cities and Great Expectations, I also have not read, by Charles Dickens. And then we have just some random coins here. I think it should be Mexican and coins from Great Britain. Then we have the German edition of War and Peace, which I'm pretty sure you do need a weapons license for that. I have read that one. I have in fact read War and Peace last year, I think. Last in January or something. A Study in Scarlet by Arthur Conan Doyle. Sherlock Holmes being literally like my most favorite classic. I think if we count it as a classic, I would count it. It's definitely a classic, not even a question. So yeah, I have the complete collection down here, which we're gonna get you. But first, continue with the chronological order. More coins. The brothers Karamazov by what's the name? Dostoevsky, right? Haven't read it. German version. Got it secondhand somewhere. The Picture of Dorian Gray, again, didn't loved it. I think that should actually, yeah, I made way too many annotations in this book. Then we have Dracula by Bram Stoker, which is fine, but I prefer Frankenstein. Which is not really a fair comparison, I guess, because Frankenstein is more science fiction, this is more horror, but still. Then we have The Hound of the Baskerville by Arthur Conan Doyle. Some German poetry, a French book about Arsène Lupin, who I think got his own series at some point. The Great Gatsby I have not read by Fitzgerald. Kind of scared of the book now because of some things I've heard. Brave New World I had to read for school, but it was pretty good, so it's staying here. The Mephisto I have not read. The Little Prince I have in 2 copies, one in French and one in Slovenian. I still don't speak Slovenian, but I was there for a year, so why not keep it? Then we have Der gute Mensch von Seezorn. Also read it for school, was fine, but not great. Man at Arms, what else? Anything of interest? Die Physiker, definitely an underrated German book, just saying. And then The Belgier, which I did not like that much, to be honest. Okay, so then we have, yeah, these are just the non-fiction. Oh, these are the non-fiction ones. The Capital and Wealth of Nations I would like to read at the same time. Wealth of Nations is often cited as one of the most important works for liberalism, like economic liberalism, and then this is obviously communism, socialism, depending, Marxism. And then we have, wait, I haven't read this, I haven't read this, I haven't read this. Well, I have read this, but I have read parts of it and would like to reread the parts that I have read. I haven't read this, I have only read parts of this. A few of the essays I have read, a few I haven't. I did read, these are some other books that just fit into the space. Funnily enough, this fits so exactly in there that it just stands up on its own. Some poems. I have read this one before, but I really want to reread it, so now I'm gonna take it out. It's more of a winter story. It's about a toxic friendship, and one of the friends, they aren't friends anymore, but one of them dies, and the other friend finds out, and then she remembers their time together, and it's really sad. But it's placed in the Antarctic, not quite sure. Okay, then we have my history nonfiction. I have started this, but never finished it. Anything of note in here? I think this is like a classic book for someone to read if they're gonna get into non-fiction history stuff. Oops, no, I see that's there. I could take better care of my books, not gonna lie. Oh, don't fall again. So this one I think is a very classic book that you will also see on like Bookstagram and BookTube. This is apparently history about Japan that I haven't read yet. This is history. Oh yeah, I could have told you that before I pulled all of the books out that I haven't read yet, but essentially I did it that like general history came first, then history by region. So this is German history, or not German, it's like West European history, I think would be the better word, because it's about the 30 Years' War. Then we have like some Asian stuff, we have more German stuff, we have some Japanese stuff, and then these are the Balkans. Also haven't read that. And then I did it more by, like, this is about people, essentially. I don't think I have read a single one of these. Look how empty these shelves are getting now that I'm showing you which one I haven't read. And then this is just very specifically about the history of bikes. Anyway, on to the last shelf where we're gonna pull stuff out of. Look at how empty some of these shelves are getting once I pull out everything that I have not read. I'm not sure if that's sad or not, because it means that I have a lot of stuff to read for the next couple of years. Also means that I'm very bad at reading things before buying things. Okay, next shelf is politics mostly. We also have a little festival here. That goes there. I have read this one, like before I started studying, which is why there's a lot of notes and things underlined that today I'm like, why did you underline that? How dumb can you be with 18 that you need to underline those easy things? But I guess that's growing up. Then we have the Digital Border, which I have not read yet, but I'm very interested in. I hope to be able to read that soon. This is kind of similar to like these ones. I love these ones. It's like a very short introduction by, I think it's the Oxford, like the publisher is the Oxford, whatever it's called. Oxford Library or something? No, Oxford Printing, I guess. I'll look it up and write it somewhere. We have something similar in Germany called C.H. Beck-Wissen, and they also try to summarize like big topics into concise books. This is about international law. Obviously, I haven't read it yet, but I'm assuming there's gonna be some left out because you can't put all of international law into this little thing. But yeah. And then we have something about Putin and women in Russia. That I haven't read it. Then we have so basically we go from like general politics to biographies, and then we go to some other things that I couldn't really put into categories, and here's like the three STEM books I own. So we have a biography about Putin, and then the biography by and about Merkel, though she's working with a ghostwriter. I have read the Obama biography. I hope he was supposed to, or his memoirs, I guess. He was supposed to write about the first 4 years in this one and the last 4 years of his presidency in another one, and I don't think the other one is ever gonna come at this point. Then we have a very short introductions and my macroeconomics book. We have, is there anything of interest here? No, but I haven't read most of these anyway. I did read this one in a vlog actually, somewhere. If I can find it, I'll link it. Amazing book, loved it so much. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Why? Okay. I've read all of this. I have not read those. So I have started reading this one, which is just about trigonometry. My god. I have started reading this one. It's very interesting. Very easy to digest for a book about maths. And then I have like 2 books about physics, but because they're like part of a series that follows a lecture by Leonard Susskind, I only have books 2 and 4, so I need the books 1 and 3 before I can read that. Anyway, on to the next shelf. This is a fairy tale, a German fairy tale, and it's my favorite fairy tale that there is. My grandmother used to read this little book to me when I was at hers, which is probably the reason why I like it so much. But it's just like decorative here, honestly. This is mythology, and yeah, I guess mostly mythology. Greek mythology down here. Why did I put it like that? That's kind of stupid. Okay, rearranging the Greek mythology. Now we have the Bible at the top, at the left. I don't need to take it out because I did actually read it twice. I'm not religious, but I mean it was in the house, and I basically wasn't allowed to go to the library on my own as a child because it was too dangerous, and I also wasn't allowed to read my mother's books because they were too dark for me, so I just read the Bible. Anyway, yes, I did get made fun of in school for that. Then we have just Norse mythology, Greek mythology. These are so pretty, and also I only read one of the 2, so I'm gonna have to take them out anyway. I also didn't read most of the other ones. I just realized I don't read as much as I think I do. So both of them essentially have this cover. I got them secondhand at some secondhand bookstore in England when I was there with my family. They were quite expensive though. Okay, so what else do we need to take out? These. And this one. So I did read the Edda in English because I don't speak whatever original language it was written in. I'm assuming it was not the Norwegian that people speak. Also, aren't there like 2 Norwegian languages? Anyway, I read it in English. And then this one I actually got as a gift. Is about, well, myths of the classical times, I guess. It's kind of hard to translate into English on the get-go. I got this from a friend because she bought it when we were both living in Passau, and I was always so jealous of that book. So now it's mine. Then we go into the historical novels. This is just a mini dictionary, Bavarian German, because Bavarian is a very interesting dialect that is hard to understand. Anyway, I mostly sort these by the time they play in, so kind of chronologically, except I try to keep series together. So like these 2, for example, I mean these 2 do play in exactly the same year, so it wouldn't matter, but these 4 down here are by the same author, and they all follow the Warringham family, and so these were kept together. Anything of note on here? I don't think so, but I haven't read this one yet. I have read the others, surprisingly. I also got this one secondhand in England, I think in the same store which is why it's looking so mangled. It would also look so mangled if I'd gotten it new, possibly, to be fair. So we continue with the historical fiction. I think this one is the book that got me into historical fiction, which is The Book Thief. I hate the cover that I have because it's the movie cover. My mother used to have a lot of these Rebecca Gablé books. I also loved them as a child, or as a teen, I guess. And then, oh yeah, funnily enough, let's put them aside. Also, for anyone shipping these two, you're disgusting. This one is standing here because this is the third book in the series, and I don't own the first or second one. So now it's just there. And I do really want to read the series, so I'm keeping it. But I really need to get the first one at some point. Anyway, so the last 3 books on this shelf are actually books that are quite old. And technically they would belong at different places in that shelf. But these 2 are... well, one is the New... I think both are the New Testament. And then this one is... a book from like 1924 that has collected works of Goethe inside. I am planning on doing a video about the few, I have like 5 books that are over 100 years old, where I will show these in more detail. Did I forget to? I'm pretty sure I didn't read this one. Yes, I did not read that one. Oh yeah, also this one, I guess. But this one is gonna stay here because I don't have the other ones. So let's keep that there for now. Okay, I think everything else in there should be read. Good. Let's go to the only shelf, or books that I have read every single one of, which is my little children's thing. This is not really in a particular order because I just wanted to store them somewhere. So you will see probably most of them should be in German anyway. I read this only like 2 years ago, and I do want to continue the series, and that's like the only children book series that I want to read. I mean, I am thinking about rereading every single Percy Jackson book. These are my Rick Riordan books, if you're wondering why I don't own more. There are some missing, obviously, that like this is the 3rd book in the Magnus Chase series, and the first 2 are not here. It's because my library actually did have all of the Percy Jackson books except for the Heroes of the Olymp. For some reason they did not have the Heroes of the Olymp, but all of the other ones. So that's why you have like mostly Heroes of the Olymp and then one Magnus Chase book, because I bought this before my library had it. Then we just have, these already belong to my parents. And then here's like the rest of my Harry Potter stuff that I am going to keep, I guess. Yeah, so now that that's done, that's literally like, now my bookshelves look extremely empty because I pulled out all of the books that I have not read, and that's like, I think that's a third of my books. Maybe it's more. Anyway, so plan is to put them up at my bed headboard in the hopes that they don't fall on me and kill me. So this is now my extremely unstable, probably dangerous wall of books that I'm left with. I counted it's only 62. I thought it would be around 80. So it's actually better than I thought it would be. Anyway, if I die in my sleep, I also decided to for some reason put up the heavy books on top, which was a smart decision to make. If I die in my sleep, then it's because of this. Like if I bump my head against this headboard, they're gonna fall, I think. Actually, no. The headboard seems to be very stable because you can move this part of the headboard, but now there's so many books on it that it's never gonna move again, probably. I hope there's nothing inside the bed that we're gonna need in the next few years. I forgot some books on the wall of books. Because look at that, I forgot these. Oh no, one of them is really big. So 62, 3, 4, 5, 6, 67 books. So I added those on tops, and then the big one I just put there because I'm scared and I don't want to disassemble everything again. Yeah, so that's that. Now, second attempt. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, even though technically I didn't really talk about the books in the bookshelf and more about the ones I had not read yet and put them out. But at least now you know what books I'm still planning to read in the next few years. It really looks kind of dangerous like that. Not gonna lie. Like that just, yeah.